In this video we are going to apply few last adjustments to the dress of our model. So let's quickly add another adjustment layer, curves, exactly the same way as we have worked with the branch. And now, since I'm mostly interested in these folds on her sleeve, so I'm going to sample with the targeted adjustment tool from here. I'm going to pick this tool and sample from the brightest area, which is around here, and the darkest, so around here. Let's pull up this control point, and I don't need to move the other point downwards, since just by pulling this point upwards I'm already creating this nice harmonious curve. I guess there is no further adjustments needed. I like the definition in the dress. I can go maybe even that far and just mask out this part that became a little bit too bright. So basically we are done with manipulating with the curve. Let's now click on the thumbnail of the mask and hit Command I to reverse the mask, and now let's apply this adjustment to the dress. So I have the brush already selected, white color is selected as well, so with the opacity maybe 60, so I hit 6 on the keyboard. I'm just painting over the dress. To make those folds stand out, it's important not only to increase the highlights, but to create darker background. That way they can stand out. The same way to make the figure of the model more three-dimensional, it's very helpful to increase the shadows in her body in the left hand side. Since the light is hitting her from the right hand side, this side is beautifully lit. We can see this nice edge, and before applying this adjustment layer the whole figure was much more flat. After darkening we are getting this nice folds, and the transparency is enhanced as well. So now we can see the boots, a bit of her legs, a little bit more of her body. So okay, I don't want to go too far over the right side of the dress because it will brighten it too strongly. I think applying these adjustments in this area is more than enough. Let's now quickly reverse these samples. I just want to make sure that I didn't darken this part of the branch too much. So I'm hitting X on my keyboard, and now I will just decrease size of the brush and move over this part, since I want to see those details. I don't want to lose the texture of the branch. The same with boots, so that way, yes, I'm very happy with the final result. You can see how strongly it changes the image when you apply those little subtle changes. It's very important to look at the photograph as a whole and to judge, to make all the time creative decisions on which part of the image should be enhanced, which should be made softer. Never apply those adjustments in an automatic way, because sometimes it's not going to be beneficial to your image at all if you strengthen the sky. Sometimes your sand, your land, the foreground will be much more interesting. So the crucial thing is to have a look at the original image, and at this stage decide which elements of the image you would like to enhance. Don't do this automatically. Here I had those beautiful clouds, and by enhancing them, by strengthening the contrast, I got this final harmonious image with these shapes kind of in a liquid way, going from the sky through the clouds, through this branch to the land, and we have this nice almost S-shaped curve. So after enhancing the sky, as before it was pretty flat, and the strongest element in this image was this very, very strong vertical line, the model and the branch, a little bit of our attention could go here towards this statue, but her presence in the middle of the image was very, very prominent. The sky was much more subtle and soft. However, after applying those changes, I was able to achieve much more dramatic result. And let me create another layer just to quickly show you that I have managed to create leading lines as these clouds. All of them are leading to the model, the branch, the sky, even this little hill, this little cliff, they are all leading to our model. So even those marks on the sand. That way I was able to create very, very effective composition, very, very effective image. And since I knew that enhancing the sky will help me to create this composition, I went further and I worked on it. I made it stronger. If the shape of the clouds would be rather distracting than helping, I wouldn't create this layer first of all. I wouldn't be adding more contrast to the sky. So you need to remember, it's very important to look at your image at the very beginning and try to figure out which adjustments, which enhancements will work well and which are not best in this particular case. As you've noticed, I haven't used the liquify tool since there is no need to change shapes of those objects. There is no need to alter shape of the branch. It's already beautiful, very harmonious. I didn't have to adjust the line of the model. I could work a little bit with the dress and the head, but I love the natural look that this image has to it. I love the natural light and there is no need to manipulate it further. Remember that the more natural the image looks, the more it's appealing. Sometimes if we apply too many adjustments and if the final result starts looking fake, the image loses on its impact. Instead of being impressive and strong, if we overdo with the adjustments, sometimes the image looks worse than the original very first version. Okay, so I can delete this layer. And as the very last step, I would like to apply a little bit of sharpening to the branch, to the dress, and to the foreground, to the sand. So let's jump to the next lecture and finish editing this photograph with applying sharpening and getting back a little bit of the color.